Hey, hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. Hope all is well on your end. Hope y'all doing great. I'm doing great as always. I set up this meeting to go live and I forgot it was supposed to go live and it just went live and I just happened to be sitting here and it's like, you're alive. And I was like, wow, what happened? So, yeah, appreciate you. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for hanging out. Let's go ahead and get started. I don't know what y'all want to do today. I don't know what y'all want to talk about today. If y'all want to do random Q&A, we can do that. We can do that. Uh, I got a couple people popping in questions right now. So 2 tiers, 1 bucket, truck it. Let's run it. I'll do random Q&A and I'll give y'all some subjects afterwards if we want to go that route. So for those who don't know, Mr. Richard here. And my objective in all of this is to be the #1 content creator, streamer in the world. I want to be the Kai Sinai, the Drewski, the whatever the hell you want to call it of financing. I think we are misrepresented as a minority. We are misrepresented as a younger demographic. And I think a lot of people who are out here have a weird, unrealistic expectations when it comes to money. And I'm trying to get all of y'all as much perspective as possible, especially on this money tip. So, if you're new here, welcome in. Social media, but YouTube pays me to be here, so I'm gonna kind of plug my YouTube channel. Just click the link in the bio or go to YouTube, type in the Rich Get Richard, and watch me from there. I mean, if you want to watch me from Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, that's 100% fine. I do not care. I mean, but I'm just saying, it supports me by you asking the same questions that you're going to ask me anyways on YouTube. And then I can also see your questions first when you post them. So you got a question, we're doing Q&A. Let's go ahead and get started and I see your questions faster. So someone asked about capital gains. So we'll talk about capital gains. Someone asked about capital gains. So there's two ways to kind of factor in capital gains when it comes to investing. You have simple interest and you have compounding interest. Simple interest is if I make it 10% a year, it's just 10% on my principal. So if I put in 100, year one, I make 10%, that's $10. I still got the 100, now it's 110. Then I make another 10, then I make another 10, then I make another 10, then I make another 10. That is simple interest. Then you have what's called compounding interest. That means your 10% turns into 110. So now it's going to be 11, then it'll be 12, and it'll be 14, then it'll be 18, then it'll be 25, and you constantly are getting interest off the compounding interest. You can set up accounts like reinvesting accounts. You can set up brokerage accounts to where you take it, your interest, and you pay yourself the interest, and then the interest starts drawing interest. And once that big ass snowball effect happens, it starts rolling down the hill, and nobody's going to stop that unstoppable force. So you got to pay capital gains tax on any profit. So one of the tricks is to never take profit. Just keep your money in the account, and everything that draws interest, you just keep it in the account and just keep it rolling like that. But I don't know how much detail you want me to go into about capital gains tax, but that's kind of a capital gains. That's capital gains on stocks. You got capital gains on real estate. You got capital gains on selling of stock. You got capital gains on business. I mean, if you want to go into deep dive on all of them, I probably could, but just let you know that capital gains is when you have something and you sell it and you're making a capital money gain profit. So when you make profit, you're gonna pay some capital gains tax. And there's ways to get out of it. Real estate, there's ways to get out of it. Businesses, there's way to get out of it. And stocks, there's way to get out of it too. I kind of gave you one and said that you get out of it by not taking profits. But there's other ways out of it too. Not taking profits and then taking loans on your portfolio. Because debt is non-taxable, people. If I have $1 million worth of stocks and I sell those stocks, I pay capital gains tax on that $1 million. If I have $1 million worth of stocks and I take out a portfolio loan at 80% of the value of the stocks, I get a check for $800,000. It's a loan. Loans are not taxable. That is debt. Debt is not taxable. So I take $800,000 debt free. I got to pay it back. I don't know what the interest rates are currently, and I don't know what your payment would be, but buy something that makes money, and what makes you money will pay off the loan. Rocket science, people. I swear to you, sometimes this is rocket science. My grandpa left me at home. Woo! What would be the first thing you do if you didn't want to live there? Like, okay, you got some options. You could do one or two things. You could do a few things. One, you could just sell it, and then you gonna have to. You can just sell it, and then or you can keep the house, refinance it, and then rent it out, and keep the property for life. Get a property manager to manage it for you. Now they can do all the work, or you can. Yeah, well, those are kind of all two options you got, but you do have options though. You can, I guess, yeah, I guess you can refinance, or you can just not refinance and just keep the property and just rent it out, and not have to worry about any more debt, and just whatever you make from that be a profit every year. That's a free paycheck for the rest of your life if you think about it. But I don't know how much the house is worth. I don't know how much if it needs work. I don't know the extent of it. Typically when people inherit houses, they're typically are bad off. They're typically need some kind of cosmetic or renovation. So I don't know how much renovation or work it needs. But there are entities and programs out there that you can get loans for those type of entities and get money to fix it up. But I don't know the property. I don't shit. DM me, I'll buy it. I'll tell you what it's worth. I'll tell you how much it costs to fix it up. And then if you don't want to do all of the work, just sell it to me. You sell it to me like an investor like me. So let me know. Shoot me a DM if you're interested. That goes for anybody on here too. If you have a property for sale, just shoot me a DM and say, yo, I got a property. But like I said, I am an investor, and investors got to make money. It's got to be worth their time. If it's not worth their time, then you're wasting my time. Uh, I have 2 months of nursing school left. I will make around $100,000 a year. Should I pay off my debt? How should I pay off debt and invest in assets? Good question. First of all, congratulations on becoming a nurse. I know it's a hard, long process, and a lot of people can't do it. A lot of people start and never finish, but congratulations to you. So, what I would do is I would minimize the amount of debt I'm paying off while maximizing my investments. A lot of people think it's the exact opposite. A lot of people just hate debt. First of all, I don't know how much debt you got, but a lot of people just hate debt. They just like, I hate debt. I don't want debt. Everybody has debt. Think of any person that you know or even heard of, they more than likely got debt. Dave Ramsey, who's Mr. Anti-Debt, has some form of debt. I don't give a damn what he says. I don't give a damn what he told you. I don't give a damn what you think. He has debt. Bill Gates has debt. Warren Buffett has debt. Mark Zuckerberg has debt. Elon Musk has debt. I have debt. You have debt. The difference between successful people and rich people and middle class and poor people is that we don't focus on debt. We focus on buying stuff or assets that produce us income. Okay? Let's say if you had, I don't know, let's say $50,000 worth of debt, and you like, man, I want to pay off this $50,000 as fast as possible. You take the 50,000, you take half, you got to make $100,000 a year. You take $25,000 a year and you pay it off fast as you can. You're paid off that debt in 2 years. Okay, that's cool and all, but why don't you just pay the minimum amount on the debt while you're building up your portfolio. You take that money, you invest it, and now that money is going to be making you money. And then you take that money and then you buy something that makes money. So let's say if you saved up $50,000 instead of paying off the $50,000 worth of debt, and you went out and bought a business, $50,000, 10% down. That's a $500,000 business. Now let's say the business is producing $175,000 a year cash flow to you. The first year you make 175, you take the 175 of profit. Now you pay off the debt. Now essentially, you pretty much went to school for free because you didn't use any of your money to pay off the debt. You use the income from a cash flow producing asset like a business to pay off the debt. And then once the debt is paid off, you still gonna be making money. If you just paid off your debt fast, you just don't have any more debt. You're not making any money. You just ain't got no debt. Would you rather have debt and income or no debt and no income? I'll wait. Of course I know the answer because that's what I do. That's what we do. That's what I'm trying to teach y'all how to do, is to use debt right. Use debt and leverage debt to get ahead. Don't just take debt and just try to pay it off. It's a loser's game. And I see it all the time. People do it all day long with credit cards. They swipe their credit cards and buy clothes, shoes, cars, rims, grills, Gucci, Louis, all this other kind of shit. And then they take their earned income, the money they went out and worked for, and pay off the debt. And then once the credit card or whatever gets caught up again, they repeat the cycle. Then they go on vacation on credit. They buy a car on credit. They buy jewelry, clothes, shoes on credit. And they're constantly chasing debt now, paying the minimal payments, can't get out of debt because their credit cards have exceeded damn near what they make. And a lot of people just don't understand that's the wrong way to go about it. You shouldn't do it like that. You should buy things that make you money. Businesses, storage units, Airbnb, cars to put them on Turo, vending machines, gas stations, donut shops, coffee shops, restaurants, whatever. Buy those things because that's good debt. Stocks, good. When you borrow money against your stocks and you use that debt to buy more stuff that makes money, good debt. Buying real estate, good debt. You buy a house and the house rents out, you make $300 to $500 to $1,000 a month, that's good debt. The easiest way I like to think of it is if I had $200, if I bought something and it took $200 out of my account every month, how many of those things could I buy every month? I'll even say you bought something and whatever you bought took out $1,000 out of your account every month. How many of those things could you buy? Right? I'll even do it like this. I won't even say buy. I gave you something, right? I'll say this pen. I gave you this pen. And as long as you had this pen, it took $1,000 out your account every month. How many of these pens could you have? Most of y'all no more than 5. You'll be underwater. Most of y'all probably 2 or 3 of these. 1, 2, maybe 3, you're done. 5, some of y'all 8, you're done. This pen took $1,000 out your account every month. How many of these could you have? Probably none. Now let me flip the script. Now I gave you this pen, and now this pen puts $500 in your bank account every month. How many of these pens could you have? Infinite. The difference is good debt puts money in your pocket. Bad debt takes money out your pocket. They're both debts. The pen is the same. One pen just produces income. The other produces debt. Get the right pens in your hands. You guys are messing up every day. Get the right pens in your hands. Simple as it gets. What's the best business to buy? I think I just explained this earlier. Asking a person what the best pen to buy is like asking a person what's the best type of food to eat. Some people love McDonald's, some people hate McDonald's. Some people love Dairy Queen, some people hate Dairy Queen. Some people love chicken, some people are allergic to chicken. I don't know. And when people ask me what's the best business to buy, you have to factor in what you want to do. Let's say if you like to camp. No, you know what? I'll use this analogy. Let's say if you are a cat person, you love cats, you love animals. Would you want to buy a pet grooming business? Probably, because you like animals. Now, me, you couldn't give me a pet business because I hate animals. Not hate, they're just not for me. Cats, especially. Bad experience when I was 12 years old. I'm not going to get into it. Moral of the story is cats aren't my thing. Okay? So I don't want to have a pet business. Some people want a pet business. But now let's think about it like this. Say you love animals. You have 15 cats and you people call you the cat lady, but you don't care because, or the cat man, you just love them to death. And let's say there's a cat business for sale. The cat business, let's say it costs $1 million. I don't know. But the cat business, the cat business makes you every year $100,000 or 10% returns. Okay. Now let's say there's another business. Let's say there's a business that cleans bird poops off cars. And let's say that business is for sale for $1 million. However, that cleaning up bird poop all day makes you $500,000. Now, what did we just do here? I identified things that you liked, and I showed you that sometimes the things that you like don't produce as much money as things that you don't like. So what do? Do you buy $1 million business that deals with cats, that you love cats, that produces $100,000 a year? Or do you buy a business that cleans up bird crap off cars all day that produces you $500,000 a year? Do you want the money, or do you want the satisfaction of dealing with animals all day or doing something you love? So when people say to me, what is the best business to buy? I just gave you a scenario that I kind of related towards the average person. And those are the type of things that you need to weigh out. Those are the pros and cons of looking at businesses, because I don't know what you like. Would you want to clean bird poop all day? No. Okay, well, I would for $500,000. And that's the difference. Because some people want to follow their passions. Some people want to follow their profits. I don't know you from a can of paint, sir or ma'am. I'm here for the money. I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for the right amount of money, though. I'll tell you that damn much. So, yeah. So, what's the best business to buy? It's really depending on what you're into, what you want to do, and what's in your area. What's your comfort level? Because I know people that want to buy $5 million businesses first off the rip. And I know some people that are terrified to borrow $100,000 for a business. I don't know. Because when the rubber start hitting the road and you start learning how this stuff works and you start seeing opportunities in your area, and then you start reaching out to sellers, you start reaching out to owners, you start reaching out to brokers, and then They said, yeah, this is available. We can owner finance you. We can have this deal closed in 5 weeks. You say, okay, cool. Let me do some due diligence, and I show you what to look for. I show you how to cross the T's, dot the I's, and then you start doing the numbers. You say, yeah, I can make this work. And then you get damn near a week before closing, and everything looks good, and you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't know if I'm feel comfortable with this. This is, I know, this is $100,000. This is $1 million. This $5 million. This $10 million. I don't know if I can do this. I'm scared. And I get that shit a lot. People say, "Yo, man, we going too fast." Hey, I'm at the mercy of you. You want to buy a business? Cool. You want to buy real estate? Cool. You want to damn, you know, not execute? That's on you. I don't care. Right? I did my job. I gave you all the information you needed. I connected you with the sellers and buyers. I told you about the process. I connect you with the money. I connect you with the down payment. I worked on your credit. I worked on your business credit. I worked on your business structure. I work on the all of that shit. If you renege after that, that's on you. You got to start executing. That's the difference between winners and losers. Can't get stage fright. You can't hesitate. You make the best financial education decision at that moment, and you roll with it. And if it don't work out, or it don't work out as you thought, adjust. About as simple as it gets, people. How do I feel about capital venture investing? It's okay. Not my thing. I don't really do like the startup thing. I don't really try to build stuff from the ground up. I'm kind of old fashioned in my beliefs. If I don't know if it's going to make money tomorrow, then I don't invest in it. About simple as it gets. I mean, I've got pitched hundreds of opportunities. Um, I don't know if any of them been successful, but I've been pitched a lot of things. Do I know it's going to work out? No. So I don't do it. Even if it sounds like the greatest thing in the world. Hell, I've even had ideas that I wanted to take to the market. But like I said, I just don't. I don't invest or put my money in places where I'm not guaranteed or I'll get some kind of result back. I just don't. I don't give a damn what the upside is. That's just my personal opinion. But thank you everybody for being here, man. I appreciate y'all. We thick. Facebook in the house. Normally I don't get no Facebookers, but welcome in. Go ahead and say where you're from. Go ahead and leave a comment. I like to see where people are checking in from. Twitch is always in the house. I got like 10 followers on Twitch, and it's always just one random person in here. I don't know. Hey, what you doing? Tell me where you from. Instagram was a little thick, but we thinning out. But it goes up and down. It fluctuates. TikTok always doing good. Twitter, no Twitters, but it's all good. I'm not here for the clicks. I'm just here to post content. So if you're here, you're here. If you're not, you're not. But I do appreciate you being here. If you want to support the channel, just go to my YouTube and watch from YouTube. Click the link in the go to YouTube, type in the Rich Get Richard, and you'll see me live. Or just click the link in the bio. And if you want to sign up for the free class while you're in the link, I have a free webinar coming up. We talk about buying businesses. We talk about buying rental properties. We talk about raising capital. We talk about credit, business funding. We talk about LLC setups. We talk about micro loans, macro loans. We talk about CDFI loans. We talk about SBA loan, SBA 7A, SBA Express, SBA 405s. We talk about a lot of different stuff, and it's a lot of free game in there. So just come through and just start hanging out with people that are like-minded and want to learn how to further their financial future, because there's a lot of misinformation out here. I think comically 99% of people who talk about money don't know what the hell they're talking about, right? And you are more than welcome to ask me anything about finances. If I don't know, I will look it up. And if I won't try to sugarcoat it or beat around the bush. I've just been doing this a long time, and I don't. Um, I'm not the expert at everything, but I have tried a lot, because that's one thing about me. If I have time and opportunity. So a lot of y'all don't have the time because y'all are busy, or a lot of y'all don't have the means or the capital to inject in some things. So one thing about me, man, I sit around all day and I just look at money and do money things, right? So anything that somebody says, yo, could work, I've tried it. And statistically, a lot of the stuff that people are talking about, it doesn't, right? Anything that they say can make ridiculous numbers or get rich soon or any of that crap, it generally don't work. You got to put your money in something conservative, put your money in something that's longevity, and just let it ride. And put your money statistically where old rich white people have been putting their money for years. Not trying to make this about race, man, but if you want to talk about financial wealth in America, it ain't black people. It ain't the minority of people, right? So if you really think about it, right, I'm not even trying to make this about race, but two tiers, one bucket. Fuck it, we here. If you look at where the majority of white America puts their money, it's in the stock market. If you look at where the majority of um, Asian people put their money, it's in businesses, right? How many Asian restaurants you seen ran by black people or white people? No, they're run by their own. You know, where do the majority of Middle Eastern people put their money at? They typically own a smoke shop, a gas station, a subway, something to that extent. So business ownership, or even a hotel, real estate. You know, I think it's something like 71% of white people own their home, and something like 28% of blacks do. So there goes white people put their money in real estate. You know, and then you talk about black people as a whole. Black people have the lowest average credit score amongst all demographics in the United States of America. So let me get this straight. We have the worst credit. We have the lowest net worth. We have the lowest home ownership. We don't put our money into stocks. We don't put our money into businesses. And we don't put it into real estate. Wow. It's crazy out there. I mean, and if you want to fact check me, be my guest. Hell, tell me I'm wrong. Hell, I want to be wrong. I want you to tell me that I'm wrong, but I'm not. You know it, and I know it. We are. I think I read a statistic that Latinos just passed us as the last, on average, demographic for net worth. We used to be the average net worth of white people was like 1.1, which was the highest in America. We was the lowest. We was the actually we was the second lowest at like 212,000 on average. And Latinos was like 198, but this was like mid 2000s, not like 2018, 2017. But Latinos, I read an article that Latinos just passed us for having a higher net worth than us. So African Americans has the lowest demographic, has the lowest net worth of any demographic in America. It's a freaking damn shame too. But I don't make the statistics. I almost don't want to believe it, but you would think with the majority of like so many like athletes and so many people out here excelling in those type of entertainment industries that we will have a higher, but it's not. It's not even close, right? And if you took away any entertainment sector, it's real bad. The entertainment sector is almost holding us up that high. Entertainment, football, basketball, baseball, boxing, rappers, comedians, those people are literally holding us up. You don't know of any major black banks. You don't know any major black lending institutions. You don't know of any major pharmaceutical companies that are black ran. You don't know of any major farmers. And then I watched an article the other day with Rick Ross was talking about getting chickens and farms and stuff like that and cows, and people made fun of him. No, you're the fucking idiot, people. Not you specifically, but people in general. I mean, it's because the man is thinking outside of the box, because he's thinking to himself, why can't I have chickens? Why can't I have cattle? Why can't I have livestock? You know, if the shit hit the fan, we rely on other groups of people for everything. We rely on them for everything. We rely on the Middle Easterns for our gas. We rely on, I mean, I'm not going to get into it, right? Everything. Shouldn't be like that, but it is. And people don't want to hear that shit. People just want to go through their lives consuming, going to the club, getting their grills off layaway, and thinking that this is as good as it gets. When you look at your life, you feel like you can live this life for the next 20, 30, 40 years. This is it. This is as good as it gets. Working for a clown who don't know what he's doing, not making enough, and you know, co-workers who are fucking idiots who don't do anything, working a dead-end job. And, you know, that's, in your eyes, is this as good as it gets? You got to damn make a decision to do better with your life. You got to make a decision to do better with the decisions you're making, right? Because every day you make a decision that doesn't probably benefit you and your financial future. You know? And then I see people on here talking about politicians. Hey, man, they ain't got the answer. None of them clowns have ever done anything for you. I don't know why people praise these people like they walk on water. Their objective, look at me. Their objective are not aligned with you. I don't give a shit who is in office. They do not care about you. Think about it like this. When you go to work and you work your 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day, let's say your best friend co-worker, or the one person you can almost just stomach to hang around. Are you working for them? Do you just show up to them? You show up to that job to make them feel better about their lives? Do you go to your job to make your boss feel better about their job? No, you are there for you. You have objectives. You want to accomplish something. So when people say politicians, it's the same thing when you go to work. You don't work for somebody else. You work for yourself. You are there to benefit yourself, not to benefit others. You look out for yourself. Ain't no politician gonna save you. Ain't no government gonna save you. Ain't no magic tooth fairy gonna come along and save you. None of that shit is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. I'm gonna get mine. To give a damn if it's independent in office, a Republican office. I've been rich through all of them. Republican, Democratic, pandemic, war. I do not care who is in office. They are going to do nothing for you. They're not going to do nothing for me. Stop thinking about the government as like a handout or a way out. They don't give about you. What are you going to do to benefit yourself? I'm not waiting on no damn Republican or no Democrat to give me a handout or a way out. I'm not relying on no IRS to give me no tax refund. I'm not waiting on no damn Obama phone or any of that shit. What are you going to do? You, Y-O-U, going to do to better your financial future? Well, if this politician, fuck that. Did you eat out today? Did you eat out this week? Did you eat out this month? Okay, why don't you eat at home? Did you go out to the club this week? This month? Did you take a vacation this month? Did you take a vacation this week? What the fuck that got to do with a politician? What's that got to do with anybody? What's that got to do with your mama? What's that got to do with your dad? What's that got to do with your brother? What's that got to do with your kids? You chose to do that. And instead of taking that money and investing it, you spent it on dumb shit. You got your hair done, you got your nails did, you got your fucking designer clothes, you bought a Hellcat, you paying your BMW payment, you watching Netflix, you got a new iPhone, you got a new Galaxy because you want to be the coolest person at your job. No one cares you have the nicest car in the parking lot. I'd rather have a shit ton of money and have the worst car in the parking lot than have the nicest car in the parking lot. And people say, yo, man, I like your new car. Thanks. You feel cool about that? That's why you here. That's why you go to work, you commute an hour a day, sit in a cubicle or sit in a damn in front of fries or sit on the phone or sit in front of a desk for 8 to 9 hours a day, just so you can tell people, so people can tell you that's a nice car. Hey, I like your shoes. That's why you're doing it. God dang, people. That's why we're here. That's why you're doing all this for. Just so you can go to a family reunion and be like, girl, you did that. Oh man, I see you. You clean as hell. That's why you're doing it. Just so your kids, your little 3-year-old, 5-year-old, 10-year-old kid or whatever can have the nicest shoes. Oh, I never had anything, so I got to give them everything they want. So that's why we buy $200 shoes for our kids. Because last I checked, none of my friends when I was a kid liked me because I had $200 pair of shoes. Actually, I never even had a pair of $200 shoes. Honestly, my best friend, me and him was poor as hell. And we was the only 2 black kids in the neighborhood with the same age. That's the only reason we was friends. No money objective, no shoe objective, no gear, no swag, any of that shit. Best friend from, 7 to 15 till I moved. Y'all priorities are AFU. All fucked up. You are prioritizing the wrong things. You put jewelry on layaway. You put clothes and shoes on layaway. You lease cars that you can't even afford. You buy cars that you shouldn't even have. Some people will buy a newer car just because they're gotten the rat race and assume that they have to spend their money. I already allocated $700 a month for this car. So when I pay this one off, I'm gonna just go get another one. Listen to what you're saying. What's wrong with the car you got? I just want something new. How about a new house? How about a new brokerage account? How about a new investment account? How about a new rental property? How about a new business? You know, and this is what's crazy, right? And I hate talking about myself, but I'm gonna put y'all on a mindset that a lot of people can't fathom, and people couldn't fathom this when I was in the military. So anybody who don't know me, anybody who knows me, I did 22 years in the military. In my 7th year in the military, about eighth or ninth, my 8th or 9th year in the military, I was rich. I was a millionaire on paper. And I would like leave my bank account statements out every once in a while, or um, I'll be logged into an account and someone will overlook me because we're computers in the military are out in the open. You can't just sit there and sneak stuff. Sometimes it just be open. And they was like, "Yo, bro, you got a lot of money." I said, "Yeah." And they say, "Yeah, you drive a piece of shit to work." Yeah. Why don't you go get a new car? You can afford it. And I said, "Well, when I'm done with the military, I never want to call anybody sir or ma'am or answer to anybody ever again in my life. I want to wake up and do what I want to do every day for life. And a car will never give me the satisfaction that waking up and telling everybody in the world to fuck off will." There ain't a watch, there ain't a piece of clothing, there ain't a grill, a necklace, a house, a car, none of it that could ever, any of it, never give me that will ever take away the fact that now I tell anybody, fuck off. If I don't want to be there, I will not be there. If I want to be there, it is my choice. Now, if you can go tell your boss, fuck off, I'm not coming in today, be my guest. I was actually giving my kids a lesson earlier. I said, if you didn't have to go to school, would you go? And it was like, man, that's crazy. I never really thought about it like that. Same scenario. If you did not have to go to work tomorrow, everybody's done that scenario here. Here's $5 million right now. Boom. Would you go to work tomorrow? $5 million wire transfer to your account right now. Would you go to work tomorrow? If the answer is no, then you need to be working towards that goal every day. Every day. Not working towards impressing people who don't give a damn about you, not working towards paying off bullshit ass debt, not working towards any of that other shit that the world and society has told you. Your objective, if you choose to accept it, is to be your own boss. And I made that commitment when I was homeless, didn't have 2 nickels to rub together, couch surfing, sleeping in my brother's car, sleeping in my brother's on my brother's floor, or sleeping in his closet. I told myself, I will never be broke again. And every opportunity I get, I'm going to use to better my financial future. Every. When I started making money, I didn't go out and buy new cars. I didn't go out there and buy the latest and greatest bullshit. I bought assets that produced me income. I bought rental properties. I started buying businesses. I started, working on my credit, started working on my business funding. And people see you driving a piece of shit to work, and the first thing them idiots say is, you can afford a new car. Why don't you get one? Because my objectives are not for cars. My objective is to tell the world, you. I don't want to do that. And every day I was in the military, I hated it. You know how hard it is to be worth like a couple $1,000,000 still answering to people that are not as smart as you? Driving a piece of crap car every day, knowing that you can buy any car in the world and drive that shit into the parking lot? You know how hard that is? It takes sacrifice, people. You got to give something up. And I knew the day I signed the retirement papers, I knew here and here, I was done. And it ain't no better feeling in the world when you have enough money and enough stability and enough income from stuff you did 10, 12, 15 years ago to make you enough money to live off of and not rely on anything else in the world. It's low-key kind of boring though. You wake up, you check your assets, you check on your businesses, you talk to your managers, you talk to your property managers, you talk to your GMs. 15 minutes later, 20 minutes later, maybe half an hour later, so I'm done. I do that shit right here or from my cell phone. And you got to understand that there's people out there like me who started from nothing. They started from so wherever you are financially, you can do it because you are not as bad as me. There's no way. I joined the military, toothbrush. I had a toothbrush, the clothes on my back, $20,000 worth of debt. No, $12,000 worth of debt from my parents and my sister, $20,000 of debt worth of student loans. So I was about negative 30 something thousand dollars worth of debt. And I borrowed $7 from a good friend of mine so I can get one meal to get me to basic training. My first 2.5 years in the military, my paycheck was $1,000 a month. Now, if you're worse off than that, then it's bad for you. But if you're making more than $1,000 a month with $30,000 worth of debt and $7 in your wallet, if I can do it, then anyone of y'all can do it. And that's why I teach you. But I got to give y'all some mindset stuff too, man, because a lot of this stuff you probably feel like you're trapped or you can't get out the rat race or everything's too much. That's bullshit, man. You're just spending all your money on bullshit. People say, man, I live check to check. No, you don't. I can look at your finances in 10 minutes and tell you everything that you're spending your money and junk on. First of all, I'll even give you some guidance. Go to your accounts, search the term reoccurring. Everything that's reoccurring on that account, that is not your house or car payment, get rid of it. But I need Netflix. Sacrifice. Well, I got Hulu. Sacrifice. My kids like Disney Plus. Sacrifice. If I'm telling you what to do and you justify it, especially once, maybe twice. Maybe twice. A third time, I'm like, I don't think I can help you because I'm telling you the basics. I'm telling you the basics, and you can't even do that. Well, I need Netflix. Okay, cool. You need to stay broke. I need Hulu. No, you need to stay broke. I need to get my nails done. No, you need to stay broke. I need to get my hair did. No, you need to stay broke. I need this $100 haircut. No, you need to stay broke. I learned how to cut my own hair because I couldn't afford haircuts. I haven't paid for a haircut comically 20 years. I ain't got no hair now, but I haven't paid for a haircut in 20 years because I knew that haircuts was a waste of money. Even if I had hair, I still wouldn't pay for haircuts. When I did have hair, I didn't pay for haircuts. I taught myself how to cut my own hair. I fucked it up a couple times, and people in my military job was like, "Man, who fucked your head up?" Yeah, man, I'm trying to teach myself. I apologize. And then they say, oh, "Okay, cool. Yeah, I get it." You know. Sacrifice. Someone said the hand wave sacrifice. Sacrifice. Yeah. All right, cool. Let's get to some questions. I feel like I ran it too much. Damn, I was on a rant. I hate ranting. Some people like when I rant though. I mean, some people like when I do that type of stuff. I don't like to, but sometimes it makes me upset when I tell you what you need to do and you give me excuses because successful people don't like excuses. You know, real quick story. I was watching Suits. I'll put on like when I'm like working or typing up a proposal or I'm doing something. I'll put on like TV series that are supposedly pretty good. I watched Suits. One of the lead lawyers in Suits. Every time the associate lawyer makes an excuse or he apologizes, he cuts him off. Like it's almost like he don't want to hear it. And a lot of people don't pick up on that. Successful people hate excuses. And we feel like, and also too, we hate apologizing. There's really never a good excuse to apologize for anything, especially if you're trying to better yourself. Hey, Mr. Richard, I tried to cut off all these bills. I cut off like 7 of them, but I kept one because don't worry about it. Cool, let's move forward. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't apologize, right? You're if that's the way you want to do things, we'll just adjust. If shit hits the fan, we adjust. We don't make excuses and we don't complain and we don't really apologize for our actions. We just deal with it and just go from there. You know, if you don't want to cut the cord from some things, that's fine. Let's work with what you got. And if I say, yo, man, it's bad, you need to start doing certain things, and you still want to do it, then that's where I have a problem. You know, someone said I appreciate the rants. The rants are cool. They're okay. Someone said, bro, here dropping gems. Nah, I just speak from the heart, man. I like him because he almost beat up Ludacris. Man, Ludacris. Me and Ludacris got into it at the Super Bowl game. For anybody who don't know, uh, yeah, man, I'm done with Ludacris. What's the difference? But there's a difference between consumer debt and generating revenue via debt. Ooh, yeah, Mr. Harvey. Yeah, man, that's one of my favorite shows. I watched it once, and then later on in the seasons, it got weird. As soon as the I can't think of the younger associate. Whenever he went off the show, um, it wasn't as good. And then Meghan Markle left the show too because of her royal duties. I think he was like their dynamic was so good, and then he left the show, and then it was like, man, this just sucks now. But and then him and Donna got together, which whatever. I just finished Succession too. Succession is pretty good too. But I watch a lot of stuff about like power and money, but I don't like I'm not gonna say ghetto money stuff. Like that's not my thing. Like The Wire and like Power and that type of stuff. Like it's like illegal money. I don't like that type of stuff. I like real money, right? I don't need like drugs and shit. Like I don't know. It's not. It's just not me. It's just not good. It's not, to me, it's not relatable, right? I can think of, you can give me 3 ways how to do something illegal, and I can give you 5 ways how to do something illegal. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's not relatable to me, right? I don't want to talk about drugs all day and rims and cars and chains and bullshit and guns and drop. That's just stupid to me. It's just not my thing. Yeah, I gotta think bigger, people. Think bigger. Anyways, uh, I like corporate stuff, not hood money. Power's pretty good. Hey, bro, I'll take your word on it. I'll never know. It's not my thing. It's just not my thing. It's just not my thing. Um, there's a difference between consumer debt. Yes, like I said before, if it takes money out your pocket, if it takes money out your pocket every month, it's more likely consumer debt. If it puts money in your pocket every month, it is good debt. You need to start buying stuff that puts money into your pocket. That's why we learn these things. That's why we invest. That's why we buy real estate. That's why we buy businesses. That's why we get business lines of credit, because business lines of credit don't even reflect on your personal credit. In that business lines of credit, you can buy things that produce your income. You can buy storage units. You can buy ATMs. You can buy vending machine routes if that's what you want to do, which I did for years, right? And so if anybody ever talk about vending machines, my vending machines was pumping money. I was done doing 60 grand a year on them damn things, but it was a lot of work. My Sundays and Wednesdays was damn near booked. I was dropping almost $2,000 a week, about $2,000 every 2 weeks at Sam's Club, and I was putting them all into my little hoopty. But it is what it is. It is what it is. What if the debt is killing your credit? Can you still buy a business? Yes. So credit, anybody who knows anything about money, right? Anytime you go to borrow money from like an entity or a institution or a financial entity, you borrow money from these guys, they understand that it takes debt and it takes credit to buy those assets. If I had 10 cars in my name, they'll say, okay, you got 10 cars in your name. That's $500 a car. That's $5,000 in payments a month. How are you paying for this? You say, oh, I got a job. And they're like, oh, okay, a job? Yeah. Okay, well, how can I help you? I want to buy another car. They're like, nah, get the fuck out of here. But if you had 10 pieces of property in your name, they'll say, okay, how many of these properties are empty? None of them. Okay, so you rent out them all? Yep. Well, how much money you make a month on these properties? I make $500 a month. So you're making $5,000 a month on all these properties. Yep. Okay, well, shit. Okay, you want another house? Yep. All right, here you go. You see the difference? If you buy stuff that makes money, then people will loan you money. Rich people know this, banks know this. They'll give you the money if you buy stuff that makes money. Now, if you go get a $5,000 credit card and you max the thing out, you go to the bank again and say, yo, I need another $5,000 credit card. They're like, okay, well, you got $5,000 before and you maxed it out. So maybe I'll give you $4,000 this time. You max that out. Cool, I need another $5,000. They're like, no, dog, you're done. Because you're just consuming with that debt. Now, if you use the debt to buy stuff that makes money, they'll give you as much money as possible. Because what y'all don't understand is banks' objectives is to make money. They're not there to be your friend. They don't give a damn about your kids' recitals. They don't give a damn about your car breaking down. They don't give a damn about your cousin in the hospital. They don't give a shit about that. Stop thinking these are your homeboys and stuff like that. The bank's objective is to make money. If I gave you $1,000 and you gave me back $1,200, cool. Now I'm gonna give you $10,000, and you gave me back $12,000. Well, fuck it. Here's $100,000, and I gave you back $120,000. Well, fuck it. Here's $1 million, and you gave me back $1.2 million. Well, fuck it. Here's $10 million. You gave me back $12 million. Well, screw it. I'll keep going up because my objective is to loan you money. You give it back, and if you take the money I gave you, you bought something that made money, and then you gave me my money back plus some juice. Cool. Now let's start at the same $1,000 again. I gave you $1,000, and you gave me back $12 a month. Oh, well, that didn't quite work out like I wanted it to. Can I get $10,000? Bro, you ain't even paid back the $1,000 yet. Let's focus on that. Focus on the $10,000 first, because that's how the banks look at it. They're not there to be your homeboy, your homegirl. They're there to make money. And if they give you money and you give it back to them with some gain, with some juice, then they'll give you more and more and more and more. You would be surprised at how much lines of credit I have and or get offered on a daily basis. Comically, millions daily. I get 5 emails a day. Hey, Mr. Richard, we got a new loan program. 6 months, 0% interest, up to $1 million. Hey, Mr. Richard, congratulations on closing that big deal. We have another line of credit for you. You get up to $3 million, and you get an introductory rate of 3% for the first year. Hey, Mr. Richard, all day long. Because you know why? Because they give me some bullshit, and I take it and make it sugar. If I gave y'all $10,000, how long would it take you to pay that bank back? If I gave you $10,000, how long would it take you to pay me back $11,000? If I gave you $1 million, but I said, hey, I give you $1 million, but you have to give me back $1.1 million in 2 years. Could you do it? A lot of y'all say yes. But this is where it gets good, people. I'm going to say the scenario again. And I'm going to crush some dreams on this one. If I gave you $1 million and I said, fuck it, 3 years. In 3 years, I don't want a payment. I don't want nothing from you. All I want is $1.1 million. So $30,000 a year or $33,000 a year for the next 3 years. I'll give you $1 million. Could you do it? Or would you take that deal? Nah, if you don't do it, I'm going to sue your ass. I'm taking everything you got. The house, the cars, the kids' clothes, I'm taking it all. Taking everything. How many people would make that deal? This is where I'm going to blow your mind at. You ready? You already said you would or you wouldn't in your head. Most people said y'all would. Some people said y'all wouldn't. So you'll take that deal? Come closer. Some people said I'm down. I see it. I see y'all. I'm down. I'll do it. I'll take it. Come here. Come closer. Come closer. So why don't you? So why don't you? So why don't you? So what's stopping you? Go fucking do it. Banks have billions of dollars to loan. Billions. They offer me millions of dollars a day, daily. Go fucking do it. What's stopping you? If you had a decent credit score, I could probably raise you in the next 3 weeks $100,000 from the bank. 0% interest for 18 months. Why don't you do that? It's a crazy concept to think about. It's kind of like, yeah, why don't I do it? Yeah, go fucking do it. I did. I didn't know what I was doing at first. I just know that I will buy a house. I will use a loan to buy the house. The house will make me more money than my house payment. And I said, well, shit, if I did it once and it's making me $400-500 a month, I can do it twice. $500 a month, I can do it 3 times. $600 a month, do it 4 times. $400 a month, I can do it 5 times. And I just kept going from there. And after a while, it's on autopilot. You start buying houses, and they say, hey, Mr. Richard, you bought a $100,000 house last month or 2 months ago. Here's another $200,000. You need another loan. I'm here for you, my guy. You're paying that bill on time. You're making me interest. You're feeding my family, and you're feeding your family. You need any more loans, you come to me. Cool, I'm going to hold you to that. Anybody got any properties for sale? Real estate agent, you got the properties? Yeah, I got one. What about this one? Can you loan me on this one? Yep. Cool, I'll take it. Can you loan me on this one? Yep. Cool, I'll take it. Can you loan me on this one? Yep, I'll take it. What's the rent on this house? $1,500. What's my house payment gonna be? $900. Can you loan me on this? Yep. I'll take it. And I wasn't even thinking about it. All I know that is I was making $600, $500, $400 a month. I know I was buying shit. I know I was buying houses that I probably shouldn't have been buying. Now, if I look back on it, but I know that it was making me money, so I didn't give a damn. And sometimes you got to take those kind of risks. Sometimes you just got to sometimes you got to just take a leap of faith. You just got to trust the process and try to make it work. Somebody said fear. Yeah, that fear is no mug. That fear is no joke. That fear is rough. Fear of the unknown, fear of the uncertainty. But you know what's crazy about fear? This is what I'm gonna get deep on you. When it comes to fear, the worst thing that happens to you only happens in your head. They generally don't happen in real life. It's all here. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. You know, like every scenario that people say, you know, I don't want to hear it. Right? Every scenario, everything bad that didn't happen to you has happened in your head. It rarely or ever happens in real life. That's deep, my brother. That's deep, my brother. I just need to get my I just need to get to my 615 to a 640. Yeah, I'm allergic to chicken. See, I knew somebody was allergic to chicken. I had a good friend of mine that was allergic to fish and chicken. It's crazy. It's like, and he was black. That's crazy. How do I use my HELOC to create passive income? Excuse me. Yeah, you can get a HELOC. You said HELOC, right? Yeah. You can do a refi or cash out. You can sell or you can do a HELOC. If I had to do any, I probably would lean towards a HELOC. And then take the HELOC money and buy something that produces income. Right? You want to buy a business? You want to buy a piece of property? You want to buy some storage units? You want to buy vending machines, ATMs? You know, then you can go from there. And as long as whatever you buy, so whenever you go get a HELOC or whatever, they'll tell you what your payment is. You know, you take out 150,000, your payment is going to be $1,200. I'll make it easy. I'll say $1,000 a month. Okay, $1,000 a month times 12. That's $12,000 a year. Buy something with $150,000 of equity or whatever the hell you get that makes more than $12,000 a year. I mean, it ain't rocket science. You bought a business and the business produces you $100,000 a year. You take the $100,000, you pay down the 12, you pay up the 12,000, and then you have 88,000 left. You take the 88,000, and a lot of people, this is where a lot of people don't understand debt servicing. If you took out a $150,000 loan on your house or something like that, a lot of people say, oh man, I got a $150,000 loan out. My payment is $1,000 a month. I'm going to buy this business. The business is going to produce me $100,000 a year. And then I'm not going to take anything from the business. I'm going to just pay off the debt of the loan. So year one, you don't make any money. You pay $100,000 to the loan. And in year two, you still making $100,000, but then you take and pay $150,000. You pay $50,000 towards the loan, so you want to make $50,000 year two. No. You're doing it wrong. You are working to service your debt. That's the wrong way to go about it. This is the play. You take the $100,000 of income and you pay the regular payment. It's $1,000 a month. Say it's $12,000 a year, and you pay off the $12,000 a year. Right? You got 88,000. You don't live off the 88,000. You take the 88,000. Now you buy another business. So instead of $100,000 a year, now you're making $200,000 a year. Okay? So now you make it $200,000 a year, your payment's still gonna be $12,000. So now you're gonna have $188,000. And now what do? You take the whole $188,000, you pay off the debt? No, silly. Come here. You buy another business. Now you're making $350,000 a year. Minus your $12,000 a year. Now you at 300 and I don't fucking know, $38,000 a year. Now do you pay off the $150,000 you still got left? No, you dummy. Now you go buy a portfolio of real estate. Let's say it's 15 houses. You got to put down $300,000 on that. And your payment on them properties are $25,000 a month, but it produces you $35,000 a month. So now you're making an extra $10,000 a month on real estate. $10,000 a month, and that is an extra $120,000 plus the $350,000 that you're making from the three businesses you own. Now you are making $480,000 a year. You 4 years in. Now, do you pay off the debt? you ain't learning. Fuck that debt. I'm going to pay the minimum payment on that shit until it is paid off. My objective is to take my cash flow and to buy shit that makes money. Fuck that debt. I don't care about that debt. I care about the cash flow and the income. That's the game. And then I take my $480,000 a year, and let's say I put $300,000 a year into a mutual fund that produces me 12% a year. 12% of $300,000 is, I don't know, almost 40 grand. So now my stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, and mutual funds are making me $40,000 a year, and I don't got to do shit for it. $40,000 year 5, $40,000 year 6, $40,000 year 7, $40,000 year 10, $40,000 year whatever. And it's compounding. So it's 40,000 year 1, 45 year 2, 50 year 3, 55 year 4. And I'm just, my snowball is just creating more money, more money, more money. That's how you get ahead, people. That is debt servicing 101. That's how the rich get richer. That's the game. And a lot of people say, and I bought 4 businesses and I used debt to buy those businesses. I didn't say shit about paying them businesses off early. I took out a home equity line of credit, or I took a HELOC out, or I took a refinance, or I got a business line of credit or a business credit card to buy said business or set real estate. I didn't say paid any of that shit off early, because paying off debt early does nothing for you. Nothing. Nothing. Paying off debt does not make you money. Buying stuff with that debt that makes you money makes you money. It's nuts. It's crazy. It's crazy. Crazy concept. I have a 770 credit score. I make 55 hondos a month. 2K, after 2K worth of bills every month. I have $10,000 cash. Don't know where to start. Start by clicking the link in the bio and join the free class, because that's where we break down some of this stuff. 700 credit score. You wanted to leverage your credit, you can do that. Go out and get business lines of credit and use that capital to buy cash flow producing assets, if you wanted to do that route. Or if you had a 401k, you could take a loan out against the 401k. Or if you had a HELOC, you can use that to start buying assets. Or you can just start saving up. You say $2,000 after 2K worth of bills, you make a 55 Hondo, right? You got an access to $3,000 a month. You can start putting that into mutual funds or investing, or ETFs, or index funds, or stocks, or bonds, or high yield savings account. And the bad part about it is $2,000 worth of bills, that's even probably high. You probably can cut some of that. But yeah, you're in the right place. But I don't know you from a can of paint. So you have to click the link in the bio, get started, and then we can kind of go from there. OROUS. Someone said, should I buy a business that say prepay for the next year to decrease their tax liability? I guess. I don't know what I see what you're saying, but I kind of don't understand what you're saying. What's the cost your thing? I don't know what that means. Up in the sky. How much do you need up front for a $500,000 FBA loan. Oh, SBA. I thought it was like FBA, like you talking about, I hope you weren't talking about them damn Amazon fulfillment center. Man, hell no. Screw that shit. That's horrible. So if you wanted to buy a $500,000 business, it really depends on if you want to do owner financing or you want to do seller financing. I would have to look up the numbers, but give me a sec. You can put as little, you can put as little as $12,000 down. You can buy a $500,000 business with $12,500 down. So let's say, for example, this individual says they got $5,500 a month of income, but they have $2,000 worth of bills. See, if they save up 4 months worth of bills, they save up 4 months, they could buy a $500,000 business. And a lot of people don't see that. But if you have the right circumstances, I'm not trying to get y'all hopes up or nothing like that. But generally, it'll be about 10% down, so $50,000. But you can negotiate the $50,000 down payment, but you got to negotiate with the owner. So the owner has to be willing to negotiate. But that's why we learn this stuff. That's why we learn how to negotiate with owners. If they want to sell their business, especially if it's been on the market for a while, you want to sell it, cool. You need to finance me. I need to finance my down payment. I got 15 grand. You put up the other 35. That'll make about 10%, and then we go from there. But there's ways you can do it. Someone said 10%. It's generally 10%, but you can negotiate lower than that. I'm a fan of DSCR loans, acquiring 4 to 8 doors, income producing real estate. Hell yeah. However, I will tell you this: your 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 jargon is a little off. 4 units to 12 units is almost like saying I'm in the. I don't want to say that. I don't know. I gotta give you a good analogy. It's almost like saying I'm a professional athlete. I play baseball and I play soccer. I mean, it's almost like 2 different sports. 4 units is considered residential. Debt servicing debt servicing coverage ratio loans are different for residential loans than they are for multifamily loans or apartments or commercial buildings. Commercial DSCR loans are 5 units or warehouse space or a trailer homes and mobile homes and stuff like that. So that is its own thing. So if you're looking at units over five or more, that's a whole different DSCR. If you're looking for 4 and under, that's a whole different DSCR. When you say 4 to 8, it's throwing me off. First of all, second of all, 5 units to 13 units is the most sought out after real estate in the nation. 5 units to 13 units is the most sought out after real estate in the nation. Number 2 is 4 units. Number 3, 14 units to 25 units. 25 units to 100 units. Then 3 units. Then 2 units. Then 1 unit. It's the most sought out after real estate for investing, not just residential. I'm not talking about regular homes and stuff. When people want to invest, they feel like 5 units to 13 units is manageable. So the average investor, the average Joe is going to be looking for that. But a lot of mom and pops own 5 units to 13 units because they felt the same way. So investors are going after those markets. And they're easier to maintain, they're easier to upkeep, and there's an abundance of them. Not a lot of people out here scoping for 100 units. You know, a lot of people want to stick to something that's sweet spot. So that's where a lot of people tend to gravitate towards the 5 units too. And then everybody say, well, I can buy residential property. Why don't I just get a a fourplex? Why don't I get a quadplex? Rent out, live in one unit, and rent out the others. Yeah, I'm a real estate investor now. Yeah, you and everybody fucking mom in the world want the same damn thing because it's the second most sought after real estate. So just letting you know, you said 4 to 8 units. One, that's 4 units, second most sought after units. 5 to 8, 5 to 13 is the first most, right? But that's why we here, bro, right? We learning. We are learning. Instagram, I see y'all in there. How about y'all say something? What's going on? Y'all just sitting here sucking all the game out, sucking all the game out of me? At least say something. At least say where you're from. Say something. Say something. I'm giving up on you. So say, how many properties do I have? I bought and sold hundreds. Currently, I don't know, 70 something. I don't know. I don't even count no more, man. I don't give a shit. As long as it's enough for me not to go to my damn job or work a job ever in my life, I could give a damn about it. I could give a damn about it. How did you start making money? Um, this is kind of, I'll go a little deeper. It really wasn't like a relationship or nothing like that. I was in a bad spot. Um, and I was like, I had to walk. I didn't have a car, and my brother and my mom's house was like a 3 mile walking distance. And I met this one girl. It ain't really about a relationship, but it just work with me. I met this one girl um, at my brother's job, and she was super nice, super cool, and I was into her. And we just was talking, and then like she'd be like, "Yeah, you can come over," and I was like, "I ain't got no car." Or she'd be like, "Let's go out to the movies," and I didn't have no money. Or let's, you know, I could borrow my mama's card. You want to go and get something to eat? And I'd be like, "Yo, I ain't got no money." And like I had nothing. I was couch surfing, no money, no nothing. And I mean, we kind of just fell out because I would always make excuses on why I couldn't hang with her. Right? Nobody ain't trying to date a dude who's like couch surfing or sleeping in his brother's car. And regardless of how much chemistry or how much connection we had, it I couldn't do it. It just wouldn't work. And you know, you're young and dumb, and you just think to yourself, man, like how am I here? Right? Nobody's gonna want to date you. No one's gonna want to marry you. No one wants to ever probably be with you. And I beat myself up a lot. And I told myself, yo, Rich, you gotta do something, man. You gotta do something. It's this ain't it. You're never gonna find a spouse. You're never gonna find anybody want to be with you. You're not gonna like find a sugar mama or something like that. Nobody ain't scoping for no guy with no home and no job and no car. And you know, I kind of like not necessarily broke up with her, but we really wasn't dating, but we was really getting to know each other. And I just nobody wants to be with you like this. No one's gonna be with you like this. You have to be a better version of yourself to attract different types of people, and you have to want more for yourself. And um, I was walking home. Like I said, it was a 3 mile walk. And it was like one of those, you know how like you walk and it's like one of those perfect nights. Not a cloud in the sky. You can see all the stars. And it was like 63, 64 degrees, a little breezy. And you know, it's just like I just, you know, I don't know if you want to call it prayer or just call it like affirmation or just reaching out to the universe and just saying, I want more. I said, I can't do this, right? I just can't. I cannot live like this anymore. I was 23, going on 24. I literally had like $12 in my account. I didn't even have a checking account or a bank account. $12 cash. My clothes was at my mom's house, but I didn't stay there because I got kicked out. I didn't have nowhere to take my clothes. My brother had a 2-bedroom apartment. He had a roommate. I rarely saw him, but I would sleep in his closet or sleep on his bed when he wasn't at work. Me and his girlfriend got into it. So whenever she was there, I would go sleep in his car. And when you are so backed up against the wall, you have nothing. I would go to my brother's job, and he had things there. I can't really explain it. I'm not going to go into details, but I would do a little side hustle at his job to make money, and it would make me about $20 to $30 a day. And that's how I survived. I would walk to his job, and his job was like 5 miles away. I would walk to his job to make 30, 40 bucks and walk back home. And sometimes he'll be on the way home, he'll see me and give me a ride back to his house. And then I'll say, your girlfriend home? Say, yep. Say, okay, cool. I'll be in the car. And he already knew. He said, why don't you go to mama's house? I said, no, I ain't going there. Oh, I got a good friend. I call him or text him or whatever back in the day. Yeah, man, come pick me up. I got about a couple hundred. I got like $40, $50 or something like that from the hustle. I buy a couple groceries or something like that, and some Pop-Tarts and some bread and some milk and some cereal, and then just let me crash for a couple of days, man. Once you do that for so long, I was doing that for like 3, 4 months, 6 months. And then what was crazy is I would walk 5 miles some day to get that hustle, walk 5 miles to get that little hookup from my brother for that $20, $30. And some days it just didn't work out. Some days I wouldn't make anything. So I just walked 5 miles back home for nothing. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. I went to the military recruiter and I said, yo, as long as I don't fight no wars or blow motherfuckers up, I'll do whatever you tell me to do. I don't give a damn. I do not care. Get me out of here. Said, how fast you want to leave? I said, as soon as I sign this fucking piece of paper. He said, shit. You be on the first thing smoking out the damn. 3 weeks later, I was gone. I showed up with a toothbrush, my clothes on my back, $7. My best friend gave me $7. Hey man, you got any cash? He dropped me off at the damn airport. You got any cash? I might need to eat. Here's $7. If you're listening, sir, I owe you $7. But we'll call it even because you crashed my mama car. And you're supposed to pay it back, but she passed away before you knew it. She knew about it. So I guess that didn't answer your question. So how did I start making money? I told myself I'm never going back to that car. Right? I'm running around the track, getting yelled at by the instructors. TIs yelling at me, telling me carry sacks, carry this gun, run up this hill. And I had one drill instructor. His name was Holbrook. Holbrook looked me in my face. And when he was yelling at everybody, and you see people who come up from who ain't never been yelled at or never had any struggle, those people would cry and freak out, and he would yell at me, and I would just stone cold kill him. And when people wasn't around, he was like, and I was a little older too, you know what I mean? You get the 18, 19-year-old guys, and I was 24. And he was like, anytime I see people in here, especially minorities, who are like 24, 25-ish, a little older, I know they done went through some shit because you already tried it your way and you're going to make this work. He was like, I was like, yeah. We almost became like, because I was a little older. I was almost like 2 years younger than him because he was like 27. So I'm not going to say we was buddies, but we had an understanding, right? You know, we was like, he would talk to me a little more like a person than like a recruit, you know, because he knew. He said, or he'll say stuff like, when you came here, what'd you have? I said, nothing. He said, okay. You already know. But a lot of times he would talk, and we started talking about, did you have like some people like running from gangs, some people running from like some shit like that. He said, I said, nah, that ain't me. But I took everything I made in the military and I invested it. Everything. Someone said, I have a question. Ask the question. What's happened? IG? Y'all better damn get talking. Damn, I'm so behind on the comments. I'm so behind. Someone gave me a gift. I appreciate you. I'm here for it. I'm here for you. What do you look for in investing in a business? You. What do you look for when investing in business? What do I look for? Money. I look for cash flow first. Everything else almost can be. Everything else can almost. I'm not gonna say can. I'll say almost. Everything else can almost be. Everything else is almost subjective. So if you really think about it, if I'm not there, it's absentee. Let's say it's a pet shop. Do I have to like pets? If it's a alligator farm, I don't know, and I'm not there, do I really give a damn? Um, my objective is to pay the bills. My objective is ensure that I hire the right people in place to ensure that this business is successful while I'm not there. That's it. Don't overthink it. Don't make it more complicated than it need to be. If it makes the money it takes to keep the bills light and the lights on, pay the bills and keep the lights on, then I'm I'm entertained. I'm here to see the rest out. Then after that, it's all just like preference. But if it doesn't make enough money for me to pay the bills, why would I buy it? I mean, it's about as simple as it gets. You know, I'll even put in the perspective of you dating somebody. If, say, your living expenses are $5,000 a month. No, I'll make it easier. Say if your living expenses as a female is $10,000 a month. You started dating a guy who is good looking, tall, funny, charming, all of it. Yet he wants to marry you and he wants you to quit your job. And he makes $3,000 a month. But your living expenses right now are $10,000 a month. Would you continue to date this individual? Or would you even entertain that person? As soon as you meet him and he's like, you probably not. What's up, Twitch? I rarely get people from Twitch in here. I see you. Would you entertain that person? Probably not. I don't give a damn how good he looks. I don't give a damn how tall he is. I don't give a damn how funny he is. I don't give a damn if he treats you like a princess. If your standard of living is $10,000 a month, yet he makes $3,000 a month, then you're not with it. Everything else is irrelevant. So now let's flip the script. You got you need $10,000 a month to maintain your lifestyle. Now there's a guy who's kind of shorter, not that good looking, kind of weird, kind of quirky, kind of geeky, can't dress, but he makes $50,000 a month. Your lifestyle is $10,000 a month. Will you entertain the tall guy who don't make shit, or will you entertain the short guy who's kind of not your type but makes 5 times as much as you want him to make? That's where the rubber hits the road, people. If it doesn't make you enough money to maintain your lifestyle, either you're gonna have to cut your lifestyle or find somebody else. And when you're looking at businesses and you're evaluating businesses, that's what you got to think about. You know, my lifestyle, I need to be making $50,000 a month. So I don't care if the business ain't something I'm into. I don't care if the business is not as pretty as I would like it to be. It produces the income I want, so I can work with it, right? And then you get these pretty businesses. Oh man, I want this coffee shop. I want this little boutique. I want this, I don't know, whatever. And it produces $3,000 a month. I ain't with it. So those are things that you need to start looking at. What kind of business am I talking about? I'm talking about just anything. Someone asked on TikTok about what type of business do I look for? What do I look for investing in businesses? I don't know. What other platforms are you on? Great question. I'm about to get off here in a little bit, but I'm streaming on Facebook. I'm streaming on 2 Facebook accounts, YouTube, Twitch, which we have a Twitch person, which I rarely get. I only got like 5 followers on that place. But Twitch, Instagram, 2 Instagram accounts, Twitter, and TikTok. But if you want to support me, watch from YouTube because it helps me out. It's the only channel that pays me to be here. So it's the same thing. It's just more support. So watch from there. But you don't necessarily have to. You can stay where you are. But I appreciate your support either way. Someone said, I know people who cut grass for a living, making $100,000 to $150,000 a year. Yeah. You'd be surprised at how much money you can make whenever you're servicing people. I kind of talked about this the other day, but I kind of talk about it a little bit more today. If you can service somebody's need, if you can sell somebody something, if you can educate somebody, or you can, what is it? Servicing, sell, educate. I don't remember the other one, right? All basic forms of transactions revolve around those 4 things. All basic forms of transactions revolve around those 4 things. I thought about getting into HVAC. Don't think about it, do it. If I was you, I would learn how to go to HVAC school, probably 6 months to a year. I would do an apprenticeship. You're probably going to make $50,000 to $60,000 your first year. Then you bump up to about $80,000, $85,000 year 2. Year 3, you're going to be bringing in about $120,000. And then I would buy an existing HVAC company. So 3 years from now, you'd be writing your own checks. If I was you, if I had to start over again, it would be somewhere in that range. But or I would lean towards those areas because they make good money. They make good money. If you only had $100,000, hold on. Okay, I get it. Get off of here. Crap. If you only had $100,000, where would you put it? Shit, too easy. I will put it. I will put it into a mutual fund or index fund or ETF, and then take a loan out against the ETF, and then use it to buy real estate or a business. And if you don't know my slogan by now, you're gonna learn it. One of my slogans: if you got $100,000, sir or ma'am, you are rich and don't even know it. I'll even do some simple math for you, sir. 100,000. Wow. You still in here? Say something. 100,000. Wow. Say something. I'm giving up on you. Say something. Okay, so cool. Let's say if you had $100,000 to put that 10% down on a business. And I'm just going off standard interest rates. I'm going off standard down payment. You can negotiate lower down payment. You can negotiate more down payment. You can buy more of a business. I'm just doing standard stuff. So let's do standard investing. Standard, $100,000. You put $10,000, $100,000, 10%. That's $1,000,000 business. Let's say the business is doing 35% margins, meaning that it's producing $350,000 a year of income to you. Okay, $350,000. Your payment, you're going to finance 900,000 at 10%. So 10%, 10% of 900,000 is 990,000. Tracking? I'm gonna just round it up for good faith. I'm gonna say $1,000,000. That's gonna be over 10 years. So your payment every year to that loan, to service that loan, is gonna be $100,000 a year. It's sixth grade math. Okay. You make $350,000 of cash flow. You're gonna have a $100,000 payment. So now you're left with $250,000. You're gonna pay your down payment back to yourself. You put $100,000 in, you're gonna pay it back. So now your $250,000 is now $150,000. So now you have $150,000 left of cash flow. And so if you want to, you can invest that into a corporate stock account. You can invest that and pay yourself some money pay yourself as an employee to make some money to do some stuff with. You can buy some vehicles to reduce your taxable income. I don't give a shit. Whatever you want to do. Okay. So you got $150,000 year one. So now year two, you don't have to pay back your $100,000. You've already paid yourself $100,000 back. You don't owe that $100,000. So now your $100,000 is still sitting. Now you put that into a brokerage account that's doing 10 to 12% a year. So now that's making you $10,000 a year, or I don't know, $2,000 a month or some shit. I don't know, $1,800 a month, $1,200 a month. Okay, whatever. Now you don't have to pay the $200,000. You don't pay the $100,000 back. Now you just pay the $100,000 in the loan. You're making $350 still. The loan from the SBA is $100,000 payment. You made $350,000. Now you pay $100,000. Now you make $250,000. Okay. Now you take the $250,000. You pay yourself $50,000 a year, $70,000 a year, whatever you want to. Everything else you invest, and you do that every year, every year, every year. The loan is only 10 years long. So after 10 years, if you want to, you have a paid off $1 million business. And then you was making, after paying yourself, after paying the loan and paying yourself back, you was making $150,000 a year. So after 10 years, you have $1.5 million in the bank. Now you sell the business for $1 million, what you paid for it. Now you have $2.5 million of capital. You get a simple ETF or a mutual fund or index fund that produces you, I don't know, let's say 12% interest a year. So $2.5 million times 12% juice, that will pay you $300,000 a year in interest the rest of your life, which breaks down to $25,000 a month, because you bought one business and kept it for 10 years and sold it. And like I said, do you think $25,000 a month, every month for the rest of your life and 10 years from now, would you deem yourself rich or better off or with $2.5 million in the bank? Yes. Like I said, you are rich or well off or better off than, and you don't even know it. You don't even know it. 100,000 wow, you're in there. Some people say, yo, man, I got $200,000. Bro, you rich and don't even know it. Yo, I inherited $500,000. Bro, you rich and don't even know it. Hell, $50,000, you can work with it. Hell, $20,000 and you can work with it. You just got to know what to do. You got to deploy your money into things that make you money. Right? But someone said, I saw my rant about Dave Ramsey. Man, about Dave Ramsey. Anyway, so social media hates when I go on rants. Social media hates when I exceed my 2-hour period. And it's almost that time. And I'll even end it with the guy I just started that with. He said, I got 100,000. He said, so where do I find these businesses? Better question, sir. How do you evaluate, find, fund, buy, acquire, scale, and sell these businesses? How do you buy? Someone said, he said, I'm in real estate. Well, how do you buy, scale, sell real estate? You learn from people who've already done it. And I know one guy who has 2 thumbs that have been there and done that. If you are interested, you want to learn more about these processes, you want to learn how to find deals, fund deals, find real estate, fund your IRAs, fund your 401ks, fund your ETFs, fund your mutual funds, work on business credit, work on business structure, all of it. We do it all. You want to learn how that structure, that process works? I'm hosting a free webinar, free masterclass. Free. I don't sell your information. I don't bombard you with text. You won't get no raggedy spam emails from me for the rest of your life. You want to come through? You come through. If not, oh well, it's your loss. I don't care. I was rich yesterday, I'm rich today, and I'm going to be rich tomorrow. I've already got mine. Now it's your time to get yours. You interested? You want to learn about these processes and get your money right? Click the link in the bio, join the free class. If not, y'all have fun. But I don't want to exceed my time because I get a little flashy on my screen saying that, yo, bro, you need to get your butt off here. But I appreciate it. Thank y'all for listening. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. Instagram, TikTok. Appreciate you being here. And if you can't find it, a lot of people watch from YouTube, but if you can't find it on YouTube, just go to my Instagram, the Rich Get Richard. It's the verified one. Don't click on the other ones because people be trying to scam and stuff, sell you cryptocurrency and that bullshit. I ain't even with that stuff. But so, uh, and if you have any questions, you want to learn more, just shoot me a DM and we kind of go from there, or just come to the free class and ask me questions there, and we go from there too. Say word, word. Appreciate y'all being here. Avida Zane.